What's up guys, welcome to BME's channel, and today we'll be doing lighting in camera. And you can see on the starting screen we only have one camera, so if we shift A we can add in two more. So if we add a point light, then it's a bit different from the one we currently have, as you can see here. So we're just going to delete that, and then on this one we are going to duplicate it, so it's just Shift D, move, Shift D, move, and you can see they're all the same length, so we'll have to change that round in a minute. So in this one there are three lights, and we want to change the lighting of each, or the power, and maybe the color if you like the idea. So with the camera it's all automatically perfectly on it, but I'm going to add a few things in, so it's slightly harder to create, and it's different from the normal block. So I'm just going to shift add a mesh. I'm going to add a icon UV sphere and GZ, move up. It may be hard to get it specifically on, so what I'm going to do is put on this magnet at the top, GZ, and then it will be easier to move things because it will be specific. On the other hand, if you might not want to put that magnet on, I'm going to show you a quick modifier you can use to make your Blender materials look so much better in your Blender objects. So I've added the Boolean modifier here, and this modifier you can add to anything. You can union both of them so they are both the same object, but I don't want that to happen. You can intersect, so whatever is intersecting between the other object you see, but I want the difference because then you don't have that intersecting area, but you do have still the object on top. There is a video on modifiers, so go check that out and subscribe for extra videos that will be coming out. On the object area, I've clicked cube without it on, then it will still have the difference, but nothing will happen. So I'm just going to put it on this cube here. Yep. And we can see it here. I am also going to move it across a bit so it looks like it's balancing on, and I'm going to put it into rendered view so it's easier to look at. So GZ, put it up there. I'm going to Shift D, GZ. I'm going to move that on X so that it's sort of hanging on. Then this has a modifier like this duplicated one, but it's on the cube and we don't want that. We want it on this sphere. So just click on the sphere, and then it will be, if we go into here, you can see that they're not joined into each other, and we can apply these and they won't intersect with each other, which is nice to use so that it looks more professional. If we go into the camera now, we can see that everything isn't being seen, and maybe it's not the right angle or area that we want it to be seen. We want it to look like it's being dangerously falling and they might tumble off. But by this, we can't really see that. So I'm just going to rotate it and try a few different camera angles. You do the same, and I'll come back in a second. So you can see here I've rotated it and I've moved around the cameras. I haven't done any lighting because we'll move on to that together. But you can also see that the cube is slightly underneath the actual area. So what we may want to do is just shift and select these. My computer is taking a while to load, but it should work soon. GZ, and move it up. Then if we go on to the camera view, we can see that we will have to move our camera up, or my camera up, because I haven't accounted for, oh, I haven't accounted for moving that cube or the rest of it. So once you've finished your camera view and you like it, we're going to start moving on to lights. So with these lights, you can see that it's really getting all these shapes and views, but where my camera is, it's not really showing a light. Also, I don't really like the background, so if we unclick all of these, we can see that it's just grey, but I want to change that, so I'm going to go onto this world sort of icon looking here, and I'm going to change the colour. I'm going to go for a light green, yeah, maybe a turquoise, um, so we can see it has a cool video sort of effect on it, but it also, with the lighting, it should look very aesthetic. So if we move around the lights now with this green colouring on, we want one to have a large impact but behind the camera. So I'm going to just G and then Shift Z so it can move anywhere but the Z axis, and that's what we want to use. So I'm going to click it there. And once we put it behind the camera, we can click on the light's properties, and we can change the power of it. So I'm just going to change it up a little. I'm going to change it to 10,000. So it's kind of a very high power, but it's very far away from the object. So then I'm going to move this across, and then this bit behind, so it sort of gets the whole view. Then if we go onto the camera look, it looks very lit up, and we can see a bit of shadow here, which is what we want. If we go over here, then we can see they're all the same length, and that's not what we want. We want one, some low, some high, to sort of complement the angles that we've given this shape. So for this one, I'm going to move it a bit high, because the higher it is, the nicer looking view we get. So here, it hasn't really changed much, but we can see there's more darkness down below. So you may want that, and it's sort of looking green because of the world and the color we've given it, which has a kind of cool look if you take a photo or change it into a photo. So we will render the image once we're down here, but let's change it, the cameras and the lights. So if we just move this down a bit, I'm going to move this one down low, slightly higher, and then I'm going to move this one a bit lower, just the teeniest bit. And then if we click on the camera, we can see there are outlines, and that's what I want, to some shadows, and there's a spin outline here. But all in all, we get everything we need to, and we can really see it light up, and we can see that these are different objects here. So I'm going to render this image. It may take a while for me, but make sure and move your images around, or your lights, and make sure you move your camera around, because if you put it on a particular place, then you think, oh, the lighting isn't working for me. Just move the camera around and maybe change the lighting a bit. So try all of that, and I'll show you my rendered image in a second. So this is my rendered image. It looks pretty good. It has the green that I want and the shadows that I sort of wanted with the light layout. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. I certainly have enjoyed it recording, and there'll be tons of new videos coming out, so make sure you subscribe